Well, it took a few months, but we're finally getting TRDQ back on track after taking a week or so off for TF Nation. That fickle algorithm, eh? Well, since we're experiencing some growth, why not completely waste that opportunity by doing a video only half of my subscribers will actually watch? The 1988 Transformers annual is technically the 1989 annual since they started dating them for the upcoming year, like they do with sports, video games, etc. You know what I mean? Don't. Big Scorponok there on the cover by Lee Sullivan. I've always had a soft spot for folks rendering him with these razor sharp, uneven teeth. It's not the most dynamic of covers we've seen, but still, it sets the mood. Inside cover, we've got a big splash. Highbrow, of all folks, teamed up with Hot Rod against a force of Decepticons. Scorponok there with his big chompers, the Horror Cons, Mindwipe, Galvatron, and Megatron. And who's the. Who's. The annuals have always contained content from the Marvel comic, but you definitely feel the presence of the editorial team of the Marvel UK comic here, much more so than in previous releases. Here, for example, safeguard your annual from the Firecons. Now, apparently, Decepticon High Command have judged this annual to be anti-Decepticon. If this annual is signed immediately, you'll fall under Autobot protection, authorised by Emirate Zaron themselves, and the Firecons will not incinerate it. Unfortunately, not only has someone clipped the price off the corner, they've scrubbed out the previous owner's details. Now, does this invalidate my protection? Why wouldn't the Autobots protect me in this situation? Even the contents page feels much more like a bumper edition of the comic that was being released at the time. Nice big shockwave there for you too. First up is the return of many pages of text, with a recap of the war between the Autobots and the Decepticons so far. The interesting part here is, it actually follows on from the story 2 annuals ago, where this nerdlinger named Adam hacked into the Decepticon mainframe, and now he's doing the same by infiltrating the abandoned Autobot base and messing with their computers. There's a usual mix of artwork, including this great Jeff Senior panel, which out of context makes Hot Rod look particularly unhinged. We end on a familiar sight, Optimus Prime on death's door, and Adam thinks perhaps he should consider becoming a headmaster. And will that happen? Find out in 1 year. Oh, thank goodness we've reached a comic strip, and it happens to be one of my favourites from all the annuals. Altered Image is a story where through various time travel shenanigans, Megatron and Galvatron exist at the same time. Now, I'm sure you all know Megatron becomes Galvatron during the Transformers the movie, so you'll probably be sitting there now going, oh, that's weird. Oh, I didn't expect that. No, I bet you didn't. Now shut up. Megatron can't accept he'll one day become Galvatron, and that they're the same person, and then they have this big brawl. It's interesting that Megatron here is the wild, deranged one who won't listen to reason, and Galvatron is the cool, calculated one. I'm used to their personalities being the other way around, but this is Marvel UK, baby. We get some great, fun artwork, and we end on the two bonding over their shared hatred of Starscream. What happens next? Read the comic to find out, kids. We get a one-page mini poster, which even as a kid annoyed me. Like, sure, I'll just cut this thing out and hang it on my wall, eh? I'll just ruin the annual and I'll miss out on what's on the other side of the page. Cool, cool. Here, Brawl's taking a bit of a pounding, isn't he? Poor sod. Next 2 pages are our standard profiles for Seacons, Nautilator and Sea-Wing. Nothing much to write home about, but it's good to take away at least one thing from each. So Nautilator never takes the blame and is a bit of a grass, like you. And Sea-Wing is fascinated by the junk on the Earth's ocean floor, imagining collecting worthless junk. Our first big Prose story kicks off with Prime Bomb. A lovely chubby Optimus starts things off in the sights of some swine. Optimus Prime has a smart bomb trained on him, and it's up to the Power Masters to save the day. We get some pretty standard artwork, save for this amazing shot of Getaway clinging for dear life to Dreadwing. Fall ya bastard ye. For those who have missed having their brains frazzled to a quivering crisp, we have the Transformers puzzle pathway. Now, how does a puzzle pathway differ from a list of questions? Well, see, a list goes like this, but a puzzle pathway, it goes like this. See, much better. Next up is another comic, and yes! Look at that big ugly brute of a boy, I love it. We get pages of Highbrow having the shit kicked out of him by Scorponok. Wonderful. We get more of the horror cons and a look at Mindwipe here. Honestly, those teeth, forever. Highbrow is hypnotised and convinced that he's a Decepticon, but when his headmaster unit transforms into its robot mode, the illusion is broken, and that lets Highbrow trick Scorponok so he can decapitate him. Excellent wee comic, that. We get another mini poster. Sure, I'll just cut that out and hang it up on the wall. What am I expected to do with that? You know what I mean? Just don't think. More Seacon profiles. Scalar here apparently has terrible personal hygiene. And Snaptrap is incredible, and I love him. Prime Bomb continues, and it looks like Scorponok has just barfed up a missile, but that's just visual storytelling. It's not literal. Do you get it? The imagery is fine. I do like this transformation here. It shows you can take something as grand as Power Master Optimus Prime transforming and make it look small, dumpy, and hilarious. It's just, we finally get our answers to the puzzle pathway, and of course I got them all right with no exceptions. We end on this final comic piece. A story that takes place in the far future where the last Decepticon has fallen. The war is over. But Triton, a Decepticon who was spying on the Autobots for 90 years, refuses to accept it. So Triton does what any of you would do. They stir the pot, immediately causing so much distrust and tension between the surviving Autobots that a whole new war starts up. You know, this is probably about as poignant as it gets in Transformers, and it feels particularly relatable right now. It's wild, it's great. A mini poster rounds things off. Aye, thanks mate, I'll just cut this out and...
Hey!
Right, sorry. Oh wait, we've actually got 2 more Seacon profiles. Tentakill is disingenuous, but everyone's onto them. That sounds familiar. And Jawbreaker, or Overbite, is relentless in his pursuits to the point of putting himself and others in danger. Well, I'll be damned. Inside cover and the back cover are the same as the front, but now we know that dude's name. It's Triton. Kinda blowing his cover there. So anyway, we're done with all this. Wait a minute, what's this? Oh fuck, no, it's the Firecons. Oh my god, look, sorry, I meant to fill this in, but someone else had already done it. Oh god. Oh wait, it's Emirate Zaron himself. He got a lift from Wheeljack.
This chubby human falls under our protection.
Chubby?